yeah, sure. Who wouldn't it bother? Of course it's awful. Of course it's overwhelming. And for some people, they say the sheer volume couldn't possibly exist given God's goodness. Maybe the deductive argument, the first characterization of the problem of evil, isn't going to survive because maybe there's morally sufficient reasons for allowing freedom and those kinds of things. But golly gee, there's just so much of that stuff. And I sympathize with that. And I don't entirely know how to respond except for to say that God has morally sufficient reasons for allowing that as well. Again, I'm not dealing with this in a vacuum. If all I was looking at for the evidence of God was just the problem of evil, sure, I'd say, gee, that's a no-brainer. There is no God. He would never allow these kinds of things. But when I see all the other evidence in other areas for the existence of God and for a good God and a loving God, a God that cares about his creation, who's involved in his creation, well, then that helps put this particular question a little bit more into perspective. But I'll be the first one to admit it's emotionally difficult. Let me add another thought here. Let me add another thought on this one. What a lot of people don't realize when the problem of evil comes up is that everyone has to deal with it. This isn't just a problem for me as a theist. Every human being walking the face of this earth is aware of evil in the world, and everybody has to, from their perspective, from their worldview, offer a solution to it. So it isn't like I'm the only one who shoulders this and other people like me. Everybody's got to deal with it. The real question is who has got the best answer in the context of their worldview. Which worldview has the best resources to help deal with this problem? And here I think the biblical worldview excels. I remember a quote by Bertrand Russell, who is arguably the 20th century's greatest philosopher. He was a Brit. And he said once, how can you talk about God when you're kneeling at the bed of a dying child? Now, this is great rhetorical force. This is very compelling. Until I heard the response of a Christian philosopher, William Lane Craig, to Bertrand Russell's challenge. And here's what he said. He said, what is the atheist Bertrand Russell going to say when he's kneeling at the bed of a dying child? Tough luck? That's the way it goes? You see, Bertrand Russell has nothing else to offer. From the biblical worldview, though, we have an abundant more to offer because evil that's being done, whether it's human evil or natural evil, all has the potential of being redemptive in that worldview. Something good can come of it. Nothing good can come of it in an atheistic worldview. In fact, the atheist not only can't make sense of evil, he can't even make sense of good. The atheist has the problem of evil and the problem of good to deal with. I'm in a much better position as a Christian.